it describes the characters pretty well. And then in the courtroom scene, it does it has a lot of inspiring moments, and it depicts how in the 1930s how life was like back then, and how segregation ruled the county, and how just how deluded a lot of people were just because about skin color, and then how some people they think black people are really bad, and then yeah, that's about it.
Okay, now I'm going to give you a hard time. In my class, I always give my students hard time, especially to you, okay? You told me it's very accurate. In the 1930s, you were not there. How do you know? How do you know it's accurate? That's number one. And then I have number two. Let's see whether you can answer that question. You said it's very accurately described courtroom in the American South in the 1930s. How do you know?
I know because I read a little bit from the book, and also a lot of people know through history, and where they read through history books, and also some relatives might have passed down stories back in the day when they were born in the 1930s, or when they lived during the 1930s. So.
Okay. So far from the book you're reading, do you think that book is fair to describe the U.S. society? Now we're in Texas. Partially we belong to the Southern culture. Do you think their description of white people or black people are accurate?
Well, I haven't gotten that far yet.
Okay, but from the movie, well, I want you use the movie to compare your life experience here in the United States. What's your observation?
I've seen in this movie, there's a lot of segregation against black people, and nowadays in Texas, especially Houston, you see a lot of police abuse, and then they say because the policeman is a white guy, and then the victim is a black guy, and then a lot of people are protesting for black rights, and then that's the majority of it. But also there's a lot of stereotypes going around, saying, like, for example, all black guys are criminals, or they all have family members who are in jail, they can't afford to pay their bills. But that's not true, because I have a lot of black friends who are very smart. They can do a lot of things that most people wouldn't know about, and especially in Texas, you see a lot of segregation against black people, because I've seen this on the street where a black guy was begging for money, and then this guy rolls down his window and just yells out, "Get a job, you lazy blank."
How much money you give that guy?
I gave him. I didn't give him any, because I'm not driving my mom's car.
If you have money, if you have $1,000 in your pocket, are you going to give that guy?
I'll probably give him $100. I'm not going to give him all my money.
Wow, I won't even give $5. Because that encourages laziness. Especially I see a 30-something, let's say, stronger than me, who can beat me up. Any pay they want, but they are begging for several dollars. I always tell my son it's hard work to begging, under the Texas sun. You can use that time to go to a library and grab a book, or go to a Walmart to get a $5 an hour or $7 an hour job. That's number one. But I'm asking you a question. In Chinatown, recently there's many crimes.
Mm-hmm.
And in terms of, you study some mathematics, right? Have you learned any statistics?
No.
But you have some idea of statistics. Okay, in Chinatown, there's probably how many Chinese in Houston? 10,000 people or more, right?
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. If we do a statistics study, there's people who do violent crime or property crime. attack people, attack their property, what do you think the percentage would be Chinese people?
That are committing the crime or victim to the crime?
Committing the crime, okay.
To be honest with you, I have not seen a lot of them in the news, but you can't always trust the media, and that's the hard part of trying to get statistics, because not only is the media more focused in the general perspective of Houston, but the media could also be biased against certain races and focus on the reassurance of, I guess, white people or maybe propaganda or something like that.
Very interesting. You are in the school debate team, and now I know you have some training. Now I give you some hard time for your further research, okay? For example, if you get all the statistics of Houston of any crime, okay, and then you count all the ethnicity numbers, and you calculate the percentage of criminals, violent criminal and property criminal, and you can run a spreadsheet. And then you can talk about what percentage of different racial group they have different crime rate. And then also you can run a statistic between male and female. Okay? So that's just the experiment in your brain. And then you can also breaking that down from different age. Okay. Baby, they cannot commit any crime by definition. And then teenagers or people in their 20s, 30s, 50s, 60s, 80s. And then you can do some statistics. Okay, then we can talk about this one. Okay, we finished this one. Thank you for your participation. Unless you have other question, comments.
I have a question about the courtroom scene.
Yes.
I see why the jury sided with the so-called white trash.
Yes.
But because there's a lot of segregation, they would obviously side with the white people. But wouldn't they know better, since the people in the jury are educated men, and then like Atticus, and wouldn't they wouldn't they know better to side with Atticus? And it would, I know it would probably cause a lot of protesting in the community, theoretically.
Yes.
But wouldn't it also improve in racial segregation or something like that?
I cannot 100% answer your question, but I can just give you some clue what I'm thinking. Number one, in any group, some people make their decision by their conviction. They really believe something. I really believe something, so I make that decision. I vote out of my conviction. But in the adult world, most of the people make their decision by what benefit them. That's my cynical observation. Number one, the first group of people act upon their belief and their conviction. That's the Atticus. But the majority of people, they make an important decision by, hey, is this going to benefit me? Think about it. If you vote that Robinson is innocent, the whole majority of the white community will exclude you, will excommunicate you. They won't associate with you, and they think you are a traitor. Especially in a very close-knit society in a small town. In a small town, small village can be very oppressive because everybody know each other. Hey, I lost you. Are you still there?
Yeah, I'm here.
Good. So I don't want to talk for the blank face, okay? So you understand what I'm talking about? So only small group of people really believe Robinson commit that crime. But the majority of the people, they know he's innocent. But still, out of their self-interest and self-preservation, they will vote, oh, he's guilty. That's my take. You don't have to agree with me, okay? You don't have to agree with me.
It sounds logical.
Sounds logical? Thank you. Thank you. It may not be logical. Now I may regret it tomorrow. Okay. I may regret it tomorrow. Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Okay, let me look whether I can see some of my students. And right now I need questions. I need this conversation.
Okay.
Okay, I want some of my students or from parents, my friends, any comments?
No.
No, today I have boys that they make a comment. Now I need some girls. 豆豆在吗？
Yeah.
Yeah, you finished that book. I know you finished that book, and you always have strong conviction on everything. Now, please share your opinion, and even at least give me a hard time. I'm pretty sure I used to give you some hard time. Now you need to give me some hard time. Be fair.
What am I supposed to talk about?
Anything. You can say, Mr. Ha, you don't make sense, and you are biased. Like my son always tell me, you are racist. So you can tell that. You can tell me that. Okay.
Okay.
Hey, Dodo, give me some hard time like Arthur gave me hard time. Okay. Go.
Wait. Come on. Can I say something about what the previous boy said, like in his question?
Yes. Go ahead.
Okay, so he started it off by saying that, like, the jury is educated, so they should know better, right? Than to, like, they should base their opinions or their judgments off of, like, what they know. Or
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, so isn't it true that the jury isn't necessarily educated because aren't they just randomly picked? So, like, their decisions shouldn't really be measured off of, like, how educated they are. I think the main reason that they chose to side with the rule was because of what you said about how, like, they were trying to save themselves, not because, like, they were going against their education, which isn't necessarily true.
That's a very good observation. Edward, can you answer that question, Edward?
That wasn't really a question. That was more of a statement.
Yes, that's more like a statement. You are right. Both of you are very tough. And then, what's your response?
I failed.
You failed? Now I will try to defend you. Okay, Dodo, come out. I will talk with you. I will try to help my current paying customer. Okay, Dodo, come out. I want you to show your face. If you don't want to, you don't have to. You don't have to. You don't have to. But I suggest you do because I want to talk with somebody. I want to give somebody a hard time because you do give me a hard time. Now I want you to listen carefully, Dodo. Here's the challenge: the jury system. Do you think jury system is a good system because you are asking? You are giving a good observation. Hey, the jury can be uneducated. The jury can be bad people. The jury can be totally uneducated people. Why you gave other people's life and death the power to people who are biased, who can be biased, can be uneducated? Why you give the power to these people? Anyway, so is the jury system fair in itself? Why in the United States you want the jury system? 12 randomly selected people determine the life and death, potentially anybody, everybody. So.
Okay, so this was actually previously like a debate topic that I had. So.
Good job. So you are prepared. You have no excuse.
Okay. So I believe that the jury system is valid because although one person's fate is in the hands of 12 random people that could have biases or could be uneducated, it still reflects like the democratic system of the United States, because the United States is supposed to be a democracy where it's by the people and for the people. So they're trying to go by majority rule and see like what the majority of the citizens want. So by randomly selecting 12 people instead of getting people that could be educated on the law, they're seeing like people's personal opinions or views on how the law works and like how they feel the situation should be handled. So that's a direct reflection of citizens from or in the United States, which is like what the democracy strives for.
So you want my response? Can I be unpolite to you?
Huh?
Can I be unpolite to you? Can I be straightforward? You are totally wrong in terms of fact. Number one, you talk about the United States democracy. Do you mean the system was set up as a democracy? Yes or no? Do you think the founding fathers set up the system to be a democracy? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes, no. United States of America is a republic. The country is a republic. Republic definition by definition is to control direct democracy. Used to be the jury system is the peer system. In the Great Britain, it used to be only the aristocrat can be jury. And then later on, only the landowner who have a property have the voting right. When the Constitution was established.
教会今天没有教会。
哎，别谈别的事儿，我们正谈。
给他这个月他不懂。
我们正在谈很重要的事儿呢。Hey, Dodo, come out. I need you. Okay, you need to show your face. Number one, here's your homework. You need to read Constitution of the United States, study Constitution of the United States, and also the founding documents to see who can be jury.
你把声音开一下就行了，我看到你了，你那个是关着的。
你们现在听不到我的声音吗？
听到了。
OK， 好，把麦克给豆豆。
Okay.
Yeah, I will continue give you a hard time. So, and also some homework. From your debating team, have they compared the jury system with the continental system, which is in Europe? Continental Europe, like Germany, France, like in China, in Soviet Union, any continental country will give the power to a professional educated judge.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm not on the debate team. Neither do I have any training.
Oh, you are not on the debate team. So you need to test yourself with people like Dodo. She's already learning a lot of debate rhetoric. This is 哪个小朋友在给我们搞 entertainment？OK， 小朋友在 entertain 我们。OK， 我先把你拿掉了，因为我这边还要正在讨论军国大事呢。OK， 很重要的事儿。但是都是玩笑了。Or nobody of us, maybe Dodo's generation can change things for the better. Hey, Edward, do you trust the jury system?
Kind of. I don't know. I mean, like, you can't really tell because a lot of crime, the defendant, you can't really tell if he's lying or if he's telling the truth. Because the convicted defenders throughout history, apparently a lot of people put into prison because of their so-called crime was released because they didn't actually do the crime, and this is caused by the jury system. So
yeah,
kind of trust the jury system because it has put a lot of criminals away, but yet I don't trust the jury system because it can put innocent humans into prison. And also, not to mention the prisons themselves can torture you, drug you, rape you, beat you, confine you, turn you into an insane man.
Yeah. From my experience, no system is perfect. In human system, there's no perfect system. There's only comparison. Okay, we heard the news from Houston, the HPD or whatsoever. They mess up the DNA sample. They just mess them up. Okay. Now with the DNA sample, you cannot even trust them. So that gives a lot of power to high power attorneys. You can find holes in any case if you pay enough money. So I don't know. I don't give you an answer. I gave you observation. I'm trying to force you to think and make your argument hold water. That's it. That's my job. I'm not here to tell you what is right and what is wrong. Okay? So is Dodo disappear from the picture?
No, I'm here.
You're here? So you haven't answered my question yet. In your debate team, have you guys ever compared different systems, like a jury system and a judge system? Which one is relatively more reliable? And how can you defend the jury system? When in Houston, there are so many people, they are not criminal, they put into jail, and there is a lot of crime around and nobody arrests them. Like O.J. Simpson. O.J. Simpson was voted totally innocent by the black jury. How can you defend the jury system who put apparent criminal murder, make them free? Okay.
Who's Orange Juice Simpson?
You don't even know who is Simpson?
Who's Orange Juice Simpson?
Okay, he was, many people believe he murdered his wife, and he's a football player.
Oh.
And he had money to have a dream team of attorneys. So he was free, okay?
Oh.
That was probably before you were born. Now, let me, I'm an old guy.
You said that the continental system is one educated judge, correct?
Yes. All of them have to pass through many years of law school education.
Okay, so the reason that I feel like the jury system is better than the continental system is because even though this one judge is educated on the law and has been through all these years of law school or whatever, has like multiple degrees, it's still just one person. So you don't really you can't really just lay all your judgment into one person, even though they are educated, because they could still put bias into the decision and say it's another reason. But if you have multiple people in one jury, they can come to a common decision, whether it's biased or not, because once again, that represents the spirit of America. And also, if they do claim someone to be guilty or innocent, even though they're the opposite, the judge is still the one that decides how long they'll be staying in jail or what the punishment is. So the judge still has influence in this decision. So they can decide to make it not as bad if they believe that not as bad as it should be, or minimum punishment for guilty. Or
Good. Keep on going. If you finish, let me know.
I'm finished.
That's very good. Actually, I totally don't agree with you, but I agree with your process, the way you presented the case. Now, I give you one more hard question, and then the torture session is free. It's finished. You finish the book, okay? I want you to ask your personal opinion. From a grade of 0 to 10, what level you gave this book? Do you like it? You don't like it? And why? Do you think this book reflects American society at that time? Or there's any relevancy for today? Is there any relevancy for today? Yes or no? Why? Oh.
这样走。
Okay. I'll give it like a 12 out of 10 because I really like this book. I had it read it 2 times too.
Why is that?
I really liked it because, okay, I did think that it reflected the society back then like pretty accurately, as like what Edward said. Even though you weren't like there to experience it, you kind of know from the account of events and like history how it was, and like discrimination. I think one thing that people don't really like realize is that it did take place during the Great Depression. So a lot of the events, or like a lot of habits that people had, or events that did occur, is like a direct reflection of the economic situation. Overall, I think like the different lessons and the different messages that it sent throughout the book, and how like Scout sort of picked everything up on her own and like matured throughout the book is I thought that was like really cool, I guess. And
as a girl, do you think the book reflects the girl's psychology? Do you think that occurred when you growing up? Because this is a growing up book. This is a growing up book. I'm not a girl, so I don't know. So you tell me.
How do we know that you're not a girl?
Hey, Edward, you want me to, you know, I won't say that because there is a recording, okay? That's uncalled insult. That's not a gentleman like. Okay, get away. I'm listening to something. Oh, you're talking about political stuff. Okay. I got it. Because they are changing the definition about what is boy, what is girl. Okay. So I'm not in that category. Okay. Okay, I got your humor, but you get away. Okay, I'm listening to Dodo's. He have to answer my question. Go ahead, finish your statement. I got your humor, but it's not appropriate. Okay, go ahead.
I don't really I don't think that it really reflects like a girl, because like each person kind of grows up differently. So their mentality, like who they're surrounded by, is completely different. Like a guy could be thinking the same way as her, depending on the situations they're raised in. But I don't know. Are you talking about like gender roles?
Oh no, he's talking about the gender roles. No. He mentioned about it. Do you agree with current restroom issue? Because in this book, they do talk about the gender issues, okay? And girls drill, because drill, and who is that? Scott, right? Scott is Harper Lee himself. And drill, right? Drill is a Truman Capote. It's very interesting. Truman Capote is a gay. He's a very famous writer. Have you read the In Cold Blood? Number 1, In Cold Blood, and Breakfast at Tiffany.
I saw the movie.
You saw the movie. Do you like the song? You like the song? What was that song called? Right? Somewhere Over the Rainbow, right? That's the song.
That's the Wizard of Oz.
That's the Wizard of Oz. Okay. So. Oh, Moon River, right? Moon River.
It's been a while.
It's been a while. The Moon River. Okay, that's one of my students sing for me, but she's only 3rd grader. And she's have a beautiful voice. Moon River. Do you like the movie? Breakfast at Tiffany's.
I don't remember.
You don't remember, but that's one of my favorite. But it's way back. That's way back. But Truman Capote wrote a very famous book called In Cold Blood. In other high school.
We're reading it this year. I'm supposed to read it this year as a sophomore.
Wonderful. That is a wonderful book because it talks about another crime, another murder in the American South. And Harper Lee and Truman Capote actually go to Kansas to interview the whole family. So next semester, you guys are going to read that book, okay? So I probably get another session about the movie time. Whenever you have time, ask your parents to tell me. We will talk about Truman Capote and the process they wrote this book. It is a 2005 very famous movie. They got not Nobel Prize, but Hollywood Prize, Oscar Prize. So that's a very good movie. I have it. And I want to discuss with you because my son's high school read that book in great detail. 这里我用中文说一下，那本书是美国这个文学史上一个很重要的一个书，写的是把美国社会分析了一遍，写的是 violent crime。这个 Carpenter 这个电影是2005年得了奥斯卡奖，我已经看过很多遍了，揭示美国社会。当时我看了这个电影的时候，就想到马加爵事件，中国就没有一个文学巨匠应该去把马加爵这件事，或者是上海的那个投毒案、北京那个租赁案，好好的搞一下，把这个社会心理 （social psychology）、the criminal psychology 好好的 study 一下。That's about crime. I'm really glad to hear your school studied this deep social analysis book. It's a well-written book. And I'm very happy about that, to hear that. Okay, thank you, Dodo. Thank you for your participation. I'm very happy that you are here. I'm very happy you are here. Okay, let's look at the chat. I need more participation. Your Morgan book is mentioned just now. I have a question. Do you think, here's a question from a friend, somebody. Do you think that the main character's view on the story changed with time? Yes, because she was remembering back. Yes. Could some part of the story be exaggerated or otherwise incorrect? That's a very good question. That's a very good question. If I guess right, if I understand your question correctly, you are talking about a middle-aged woman or man whatsoever in New York thinking about her own time.
What?
这里边呢有一个人问我，有一个朋友问我 Do you think the main character's view on the story change with time? 豆豆，你在这儿呢，那你就 answer the question， 你还不忙 ，because she was remembering back。这一个 author Harper Lee 在写他的，因为这个是半自传性质的，他回忆自己是不是把一些东西 exaggerate? Could some part of the story be exaggerated or otherwise incorrect? What's your response? And then I will think about my response.
Me?
Yeah. How do you respond to this question?
I think for like telling the events and like describing the events that happened, I think that was like sort of accurate, but for her emotions or like feelings for the events or like the method that she used to describe them is like definitely exaggerated because she was really innocent at the time and she wasn't really exposed to like the real world.
Okay.
And so her outtake on certain things was like obviously a lot more than it needed to be.
Okay. Here's my response. That is a very challenging question, and I'm very appreciate of friends asking this question. Number one, last year, in the year 2005, somehow media in New York and in London, all over the world, they discovered, they disclosed the big news. Harper Lee, there's another book before To Kill a Mockingbird. I forgot the name. I know the whole story.
Is that a Watchman?
Oh, excuse me?
Wait, is it Ghost at a Watchman? Is it that one? Or is that her new book?
Set a Watchman, right?
Yeah.
Go Get a Watchman. Yes. Dodo, did you read that book? Yes or no?
I read it like last year, so I don't really remember it.
Wow, wonderful.
I just remember that
there is a contradiction. Go ahead.
Or Atticus is a racist.
Yes. Isn't that ironical?
Yeah.
supposed to be if I can trust them, which I usually don't. If I can trust New York Times, which I usually don't. If I can trust these people, which I usually don't, then to set a watchman in that book, Atticus is a racist. She go back to her hometown to meet her sweetheart and so on and so forth, some romance, and find out his father unbearable because his father participated in social getting together to support segregation. And then, of course, later on, they have a reconciliation because father and daughter are different person. If father don't control the daughter, why the daughter have the right to control the father? Okay, but the two books are totally different. And according to their story, To Set a Watchman was written before. And then she got money. People financed her to write To Kill a Mockingbird. If that story is true, then she was financed to write To Kill a Mockingbird for some reason. So this book currently was published in 40 languages all over the world, and tens of millions of copies have been published in the English-speaking world, and almost all the high schoolers, both in public school and private school in the United States, are reading it. That fact is very important. So, 我很高兴 someone asked me this question. 所以说 there's a lot of hidden story behind this book. So I cannot just talk about everything because it's a public forum. If I talk with you one-on-one, I have a different answer. Okay? 好，这个问题很好，谢谢谢谢，非常高兴，这是非常好的一个问题，这是非常好的一个问题。时间到很多了吧
OK，
这是非常好的一个今天的 participation。最主要的是大家有问题，有问题就让我们的这个 session 比较 interesting。好，朋友们还有没有问题？没有问题的话，我们已经超过了18分钟。但是如果有好的问题，我们继续；没有好的问题，我们就结束。
I don't have a question about the book.
Comment. You can talk. You can use it. You can use this book to talk about social issues. For example, what's your position on AA? Dodo, what's your position on AA, affirmative action, and what's your position on what that girl's Fisher case, 费雪案，那个 Fisher against UT Austin.
Oh, she wrote the.
Yeah, she accusing UT Austin for prefer black girls under the firm. She can't.
Okay, so my opinion on affirmative action is.
Yes.
I don't have an official opinion on affirmative action.
I don't official. I don't need official.
Or no, like I don't know. I'm back and forth. I don't have like. I believe this or like I'm not like one side or the other. I'm kind of in between.
What do you mean by in between? I don't understand your point.
Okay, so the Fisher case, right, is like, okay, so about affirmative action is that I feel like although it's like more of a socialist reform and it's striving to give people of like other minority races or like minority races in general like an equal access to education like Hispanics or Blacks.
Yes.
So this really wasn't a discriminatory thing against like any race in particular. It was just trying to like the intent was good, but the result wasn't I don't think the result is like what they had hoped for, because
for example, let me clarify it, so make the question more to the point and make it harder for you, because only give you a harder question you can practice your response, right? Okay, if I give you an easy question, there's no exercise like physical exercise or mental exercise. For example, in your class, if you desperately want to go to, for example, Harvard, OUT, for example, you don't have to, and I'm not forcing you to do, okay? I'm not even attracting you to that direction. But for example, if you want to be a lawyer, you want to go to certain law school, you think that will further your career, further your ambition to do whatever you want. Listen, and there's a people whose every subject is not as good as you. Every subject. Not only the SAT, not only the vocabulary, not only the mathematics. I teach college students who don't know even the very simple algebra, but they are in college. Do you think certain people, because of the color of skin, they are totally academically unprepared, should get a position that you cannot go? No. You are more prepared, but somebody else is not prepared. But they, because of diversity, should get something you really want, but you cannot get. Is that fair or unfair?
Obviously,
that's unfair.
What?
Obviously, that's unfair.
Then you should have a position, okay?
Well, no, but here's the thing. Because people that don't have the same opportunities to education, like this affirmative action program is giving them an opportunity to get like education that they could not afford in the first place. So that's providing more opportunities. But on the stance where they're looking at like racial issues, I don't know if they're strictly putting like race into the decision as like whether to accept a student or not directly based on like merit, then I believe that like that's unfair. But I feel like they should add more steps to the reform, like maybe look at the economic situation of the minority before because if it's just like a Hispanic person or like a Black person, and then it's an Asian person with like I guess more opportunities, and this Asian person doesn't get in because of like the other minority not being able to like succeed as well.
Okay.
Then, like, it's obviously not as fair because these people are like working hard to get their position and they're not getting it.
Okay. Just give you something to think about. For example, these affirmative actions, sometimes the beneficiary are not the low income family. A lot of even the beneficiary of affirmative action are the kids of the colored people, but their family are lawyers, are doctors, or business people. For example, Obama's kids can benefit from affirmative action, and you will be discriminated against using affirmative action. So that is just another, I'm not saying it's right and wrong, but it's just my observation.
No, yeah, like I agree with that. I'm just saying like for the people of lower classes or like poverty, it makes sense why this program or this reform would be beneficial to them, or like giving them more opportunities, given the chance that, or given the situation that they had no chances in the beginning. But when it's coming from like upper middle class families, like that are being placed above merit, like that's an issue.
Yeah, but from my personal observation, which is not a very good sample, I see a lot of highly educated parents who occupy higher position in society because they know how to play the political game, or they are even entrepreneur. Their kids are benefit from affirmative action. I have a Hispanic student who drive a Lamborghini come to see me, okay? And he told me, you know, I don't need a good SAT score like your other students. Okay, because I have a good last name. And these guys know. I think he's 1 year older than you, and he come to see me driving a Lamborghini. And he is a smart guy, but he know if the system benefit me, I don't have to work as hard, so he can enjoy more vacation. Okay, he will use my other students' study time, enjoy more vacation in Australia, just because he can afford it and he feel like it. Okay, but of course I charge him more. Okay, but that is the one person I know who shouldn't benefit from affirmative action, but he do, and he know he do. Okay. 好 ，Thank you， 谢谢豆豆你的 participation。好，我再等2、3分钟，如果没有其他的问题，我们今天就结束了。我非常高兴呢，今天有这么一个好的机会啊，跟我们的这么好的学生非常 lively 的 discussion。然后呢，在我们的朋友里边也有非常好的问题，这样来说，让我们的这个 discussion 更好一些。最近是夏天，我准备呢，在我的群里发一些消息，比如说今天我准备了一下，一个朋友给我提出建议，因为像很多的高中学生学世界史，那么我想讲一些我自己非常喜欢的电影，比如说我正在看的，上个星期跟我的学生一块看的，阿拉伯的劳伦斯 ，OK。Lawrence of Arabia， 然后他讲的是第1次世界大战时候，这个奥斯曼土耳其分崩离析，现在的中东的那一些乱局都是从这个事件结束的。那么这么一个重要的一个人物，最主要我想讲还是这个电影非常 very beautiful， and they don't produce beautiful movie anymore like that。如果有新的好的电影，我们可以一块看，通过这个研究一下美国的社会。比如说刚才豆豆提到的Truman Capote 这么一个天才的一个作家 ，who happen to be a gay， OK，who happen to be one。他能够导演出那么好，他能写出那么好的东西，做出来。Breakfast in Tiffany。那么《In Cold Blood》这个电影，我想以后跟朋友们一块儿介绍一下。还有那些跟世界史、美国史有关系的电影，那时候呢，我在做一些这个跟大家一块儿分享。好，朋友们，如果有什么建议，请在我的微信群里跟我联系。好，谢谢大家，谢谢，祝大家晚安，有一个愉快的节日。谢谢，再见。